Okay, new deck, who dis? I've done this video so many times. I keep redoing it. I really like y'all. Thanks for all the love on the Cloud Patriarchs. Y'all were thirsty for some patriarchs because there's all sorts of comments and messages I got from that one. But it's a really fun build, so that's why. So another deck, another delivered Golden Calf, and a different version of New Covenant. I feel like I just look at New Covenant and then I just build a deck with a different New Covenant. So this time we're using the Unity. So I almost want to have Jeshua in here, but he doesn't go in everything, right? Jaden. And then Jaden can say neither does delivered, and I say touche. But this is really good on Jeremiah anyway as a enhancement. So as a good enhancement, it's convert evil humans in battle, draw one, top deck this card. So it's really good regardless. We're not just doing that play. Actually, we're really never using that play. We are going to give your prophets, your green guys, may ban to a human this turn. So what's kind of like the setback of green heroes? They kind of attack by themselves. So we have New Covenant to give really strong bans. Like Elijah can already ban to Elisha, which right now with these three being in so many decks, he is really, really, really good. And he is really, really, really not played. You can play this in Disciples Martyrs with Transfiguration. Like, that's amazing. Stay on points. We're trying to make videos shorter. So Elijah could already ban to Elijah, so you can give Elijah the ability, but you can choose a blocker and you can then, negate through different ways. The only people we really don't use New Covenant on, Mighty Warrior and Jonah. Jonah, you just never really attack with unless he's your only hero in your opening hand. And Mighty Warrior likes to be alone. So Isaiah, star cards are CBN, which is really nice because you can then use New Covenant and bring in one of these two and make them CBN, or Jeremiah being CBN, because this deck, there's a lot of colors here. So Babel can easily stop some people, which when you look at the colors, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it's, I believe Babel is toughness. I don't even think it stops much. Toughness, characters. So we do have to worry about that. But so we said 6. This cannot be negated. And then he gives all star abilities CBN. So that doesn't really bother us. Toughness. Noah would be negated, so he wouldn't be able to flip. Doesn't matter. This matters. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. This is a modifier for CBN, but you wouldn't be able to look at their hand, so that would be negated, but this is CBP, so it's not the end of the world. Yeah, so we like a little draw 3 here. Micah also helps with Zechariah's ability to have a hero out there. Same with Jonah and Malachi are your 3 minor prophets. Micah likes having the 3 in there to max out the draw 3. Malachi needs another as well, so it all works together. And Isaiah has star cards that are CBN. You can have New Covenant to on Isaiah. And y'all, someone send me a picture of the Isaiah with the name change. I don't even know what the card is anymore. I forgot, but I don't believe it exists. Apparently it does. I know the reason why, but it's very rare. I need to buy like the new print POC. All right, Malachi. So Isaiah has CBN star cards. I can go straight to a negate, discard all evil enhancements, or I can go to a withdraw, reserve an evil card from opponent's hand. That's CBN. And Malachi can get back one of my star cards that are interrupt. That's also CBN on him. Hand advantage is really easy to do when you're attacking. So really good attack there. So yeah, you're just trying to new covenant on different heroes for strong attacks, and then you're not susceptible, nearly as susceptible to the whatchamacallit, Christian Martyrs and Falling Aways, even though that's pretty much like an offensive card at this point. We don't like High Priest and Adius. We only have one card that can get around them. So if you see Sadducees, use Angel Lord on High Priest and Ananias. We like Pretension and Falling Away to get rid of their strongest heroes because that's all over the place. This helps us with Daniel and Michael, falling away on Daniel and then kill him and set aside or reserve Michael. And you just got to know what you're susceptible to on a defense, or yeah, on defense. And you can use your offense to help you with that. Let's see. We also have Book of the Covenant to make your new covenant CBN. Originally, I didn't have Golgotha and the Cross because it's kind of clunky, and I liked having the Shuffle CBN Scattered Sheep because Malachi can get it back. So CBN Shuffle was really nice. They pretty much know they can never band. And then I just have Nero sitting out there, and Nero Scattered Sheep is also really good. So that could still be in here, but I do like having the cross up with this offense. And then Golgotha gets so many of my evil characters. I said, why not? And then it gave me another target for Covenant with David. And I only brought Covenant of David in here because I wanted CBN New Covenant. So I figured might as well. And I needed another consistent way to bounce Noah because the only way to bounce Noah was through my defense of repudiating, and I can underdeck Noah, and I used to have Faith in here, so I could underdeck him and then just pop him back out, but that's not ideal. So I kept that in, but I took out Faith of Samuel, brought in Numerous as a Stars instead, and gave myself Book of the Covenant for CBN New Covenant, and gave myself targets for book that help my deck. So I can get out the Cross or Noah's Ark, which I could also get with Emmaus Road, and I can bounce up to 2 humans in a territory. So I know there's some fools running around. Choose a blocker. I know Jaden's video came out, but Derek also loves that. So that's just a strong play in general because you can bounce your fools and reset them and stuff. I don't know how. But yeah, you can. Oh yeah, see a glass. But anyway, getting off topic. Try to keep the videos quick and clean. This gives me CBN. Gives me more targets to use, bounce their territory class heroes or evil characters as needed, and also resets your Noah, so it's really good. Pretty balanced deck overall. Offense and defense are very similar. Oh yeah, consistency. We have really only 2 battle winners because we're trying to get to New Covenant. Oh yeah, and 2 bears. It's really good on Elisha. And our consistency pieces. What are we focusing on in the deck? And that's Offering Sun. How are we going to get it? Through these cards. This can kind of get you anything. I used to have a human hero in reserve. I still probably should have a human hero in reserve. So this isn't a quote unquote dead card. It's also really good for pretensions running around. So maybe I do go, maybe I drop something and bring in a human in reserve, but this card's so good regardless. And Elisha used to be in there, but that's such a strong first attack to get a hand look, especially if you have 3 interrupts. So make them CBN very easily now. So yeah, if you look, these are all consistency pieces, and they pretty much all help with New Covenant. Numerous as a Stars helps me get my heroes for New Covenant. And then you're just trying to get you like Virgin Birth to take whatever to get to New Covenant, or you draw into it. So yeah, 3 good enhancements and 5 consistency pieces. And we have some built-in speed on the defense and delivered to Daenerys and all that good stuff. So 52. Oh, it's 53 because I added the Cross and Golgotha. And and Lackey was Lackey. It's still recording. Share. Okay. Well, we'll see how that comes out. Profits. Oh yeah, I already loaded the deck. Look at that. Technology tilted me. I used to have the first in here. I like having all 7 Meeks because I protect Meek Lost Souls. So I don't want to have just the first sitting out there. That hurts me. Also, I can draw into Lost Souls and I lose the whole expert lawyer callous play, which is really good. Because you want to abandon your Pharisees and then you want to play a Lost Soul. So callous is protected. And then you also want to or play a Lost Soul for expert lawyer to get back an evil enhancement, and then callous will underdeck it at the end and you'll be protected. So without further ado, star abilities, can't do that. Nothing here. We already have pretty good attack. I kind of like giving up initiative to play a 2 bears. Ideally, we would like to have some other hero out to either a minor prophet or Jeremiah to give him some sort of negate that works, but then 2 bears wouldn't work. So 2 bears used to not be in here, but it's such a good card and it helps me get around Ananias. He's not going to negate anything and we don't need him to per se. We would like him to negate characters, but oh well. And we do have an interrupt and we know we are going to shuffle an evil card of each evil brigade in play. So we don't need to be putting down any evil brigades, knowing we're going to attack. And we still have big numbers, interrupt and a negate. So we definitely want to have the cross active. And if we have the cross active, we lose our negate. So I still think it's worth it. We can just go to a little rescue, 2 bears. I think that's a fine little first attack. And before we pass turn, we do want to maximize the draw, I think, first turn. So I would put down 2. And then they're definitely going to attack. You can't even play 2 of your cards. So they're definitely going to push out any hero as long as they think it can get it, as long as they're not afraid of numbers, they have something, they're going to push out a hero. And you are going to want to draw. This really won't do anything, negate, unless they put something out. So he exchanges to in play. So if we wanted to exchange, he would have to be down. And same with this, like you may take a New Testament card from deck since we have that. And we can go straight to a negate, potentially a battle winner. Joe Schaefer, you just messaged me. But yeah, we're probably just gonna want to go straight to a draw 3. That's scary because he's just a 3/3 that draws 3, and then that's it. So instead, bounce a character in a territory. We can just bounce ours if they don't have anything down, and take an evil New Testament grade card from deck because I control a Meek Lost Soul. And we get to take protect Meek Lost Souls from rescue this turn. So if it's our initiative, we would hope we just play this and die because we really have nothing else. If it's their initiative, that's also good because we get to negate and then we protect. Let's just say they're dead and I don't give up the Lost Soul. Okay, my turn. I can go to a Covenant from reserve. And really all that does is give me a Noah's Ark. Like if I go to here, I have nothing to bounce. I go to here, I get out a Golgotha. And I can put the cross down. And then I can get a draw going next turn. So actually it might be a good play to go to book, to go to Covenant with David, to go to Golgotha or Noah's Ark, but we can go to Golgotha. We can put that down. And then if put in play, you may take a gospel character from deck. And we're probably going to want a 10-12 protect or the expert lawyer. Play a meek soul to take your negate back. So you may take a gospel character from deck or reserve. So we're going to take that. And now we have the cross. We don't really have a good attack. We have an 11-12 with the Chronicles. And if they have something out, we can just Son of God it. Don't always play your Son of God just to play your Son of God. Like it still has to be played at the right time, but like you want to negate the right soul when needed. But with crosses running around everywhere, it's nice to play it early. If they have 2 out, you can go right back to it. That's what I would do if they had a bunch of souls out this early, but I would play it. And I'd activate the cross in Golgotha. Don't really have any sort of good attack. If they had another lost soul, I wouldn't attack. I would just second coming. So we'll say that's it. So yeah, that's all. And before I pass, we still want a potential draw 3. Nope, because we still don't have anything to play afterwards. So if they rescue, which is nice, like, yeah, I get it. Purple is kind of running around everywhere, but a lot of people like to convert their purple or they don't have purple enhancements all the time. Silver just isn't necessarily running around unless you're playing Daniel. White's good, but it's not as prevalent yet, or prevalent as it used to be. It's not all over the place. So it's not a bad play having a lost soul in Golgotha. Sight lockout, baby. So evil New Testament enhancements, regardless protect. If blocking, you may play a meek lost soul from deck. They're attacking, so I figure they have access, right? So I play one from deck to take a New Testament gray enhancement from discard pile. That is so good. They play something, I negate it, I protect meek souls from rescue. Like that's such a good play. Over and over, you know, like you get to do that a lot of times, and you get to do it over and over because of Callous. So very good play. Discard the top card of your deck. Upkeep, draw 1. Don't forget about your upkeep triggers. No. Stop. You're on my side. Discard an evil card from hand to draw 1. Too late. We're in upkeep. So this is weird. It's running so slow. We didn't go to a Denarius. So first we can probably go to Book of the Covenant because we're going to go to a delivered and take Oath of Purity. And we're going to play Zechariah and go to a delivered. And we're not going to go to New Covenant. We're going to go to Denarius because we're having kind of a weird slow start. And we're going to activate Denarius. And let's see what we get here. Okay, so now we could go to a New Covenant to have a quote unquote battle winner in hand. And New Covenant is green. So it's CBN. So I think that's what I would do. I have teal. I have a teal banding card as well, but none of that's really ideal. And we do want to attack here. So offering your son to go to New Covenant. Shuffle that. Y'all make some room. Come on now. And then we could go to Elisha. You may discard an evil enhancement from opponent's deck. Like, why is he not played? Like, come on, y'all. This is my first video with him, and I act like I play with him all the time. And so you get to discard an evil enhancement from opponent's deck. Phenomenal. You may reveal a hand, shuffle evil dominance. Remember, y'all, you can do this to yourself. Like, if you do this to him the first time, and or if you go Jeremiah off New Covenant, like if you use this as the actual covenant, you can go Jeremiah, where you can look at their hand first before you get the toss. Look at opponent's hand. Daniel used to be in here, but I took him out. I don't know if I said that at the beginning because I didn't want to give them a potential target to ban to when I'm trying to get rid of Daniel. If I go against a Michael deck and I get rid of Daniel, I don't want them to have a Daniel out because they don't like Daniel. New Testament defense. But yeah, I can go to Jeremiah, New Covenant. Jeremiah, look at your hand. I'm just acting like Jeremiah's here. Look at your hand. And then if I see an evil dominant like this, I can ban in Elisha and all my stuff CBN now. If I don't, and I really feel like I need to have CBN enhancements based on your hand, I could shuffle mine. Just saying, keep it in mind. It's not the most ideal play, but sometimes like a last rescue of the match, you know. So I'd go out here. I do have a negate. You know, I look at your hand. If I do get initiative and it's CBN, like if I shuffled something, but it doesn't matter. I discard an evil enhancement from your hand or from your deck. That's amazing. People usually only play with like 4, maybe 5. So I took out your best one, and 2 of them are usually consistency pieces. And if you don't play delivered, like if you haven't played delivered yet, I can get rid of that. But yeah, if you did that to me, like you don't need to discard this. You don't need to discard this. We can just look at the deck and see, like you can discard my delivered, but you don't need to discard that. You don't need to discard this. You don't need to discard this. You could, like that'd be a good one. You can hit a negate or distort the truth. Now it doesn't necessarily hurt me because I can recur, but the point being, of my 5 evil enhancements, I'm really only playing 2 in battle. So Elijah takes out, I mean, quite honestly, Elisha takes out half of evil enhancements that are played in battle until you get to the reserve. But anyway, if I can play that and it's CBN, it's really good because I can Offering Your Son it, play it, draw 1, and top deck it to where I know I have it next turn and it's CBN. If it wasn't, I could have Chronicles of the Kings to negate anything. Also, it top decks itself, so unless they have to mess with it in special initiative, I play this. Let's say I convert. And probably going to play Balaam's here. And you could do it to the opponent for Soul Gen. It's really, really good to do to the opponent. Like, this is such a phenomenal card. Having access to Delivered, Emmaus Road, Offering Your Son, Denarius, Balaam's Prophecy, even Pretension, like territory class cards are a little crazy right now. And when you have access to some of the best ones on offense and defense, it's a huge advantage. So you could play this. You can take a star card. Like, that's awesome. And then top deck. So even then, if you need some Soul Gen as well, let's say we do it to ourselves just because we're, can't see anything else. So we do want to make sure we're going to draw into this, but do we need to draw into it? You don't have anyone to ban to off of that. So I don't think it necessarily matters. But we could get all of our consistency pieces up front. We could take a star card knowing that we're going to go into this. I would say we can go to a numerous as the road. Like we could go to Emmaus to go to a numerous and get 2 heroes. But I kind of like having this and then having numerous as 3 next turn. Maybe we move that there because we could offering your son into that. Or do we not need clinging to power right now and go numerous as, yeah, that's what we're going to do. Stick to what the deck does. We're going to leave that there, draw into it so I can get another look at your hand, play New Covenant, or get numerous as a stars, New Covenant. That is it. Okay. We like having this person down. If needed to, we could pretension right here and draw 2 if they have heroes down. But anyway, let's see. If blocking, you may draw, 3 at this point. If they have Storehouse out and it's a soul hero, that's all day. You may draw a bunch. So this is also really good. I like doing this one to bounce heroes to give them special initiative. That's fine. I do have a negate, but we're going to give them special initiative because we pretty much most people are just going to reveal 2 good cards from their hand. They're going to show me like a dominant or 2. And if they show me a neutral dominant, sometimes they do that. They show a neutral dominant to suffice for a good card before they know I have this. Once again, know your deck, know how it interacts with each other. So now give them special initiative, but we really just want to exchange to this guy to have a CBN Banta any number of Pharisees. We could go a little crazy here if we want. If we need to negate and underdeck something, we can. So they have to discard a card if they don't have Storehouse up. You get to draw 3. We don't have anyone dead, do we? Oh yeah, we do. So yeah, we could play then we get to do the rest of his ability. Play a Meek Soul from deck to resurrect. I think resurrect puts it in play. I'd have to check that. So now we have this guy, and these are the only ones we brought in. If opponent uses search ability, blah, blah, blah. If blocking, you may draw 3. We only have 8 cards in hand, so we can draw some more. And then you may play a Meek Soul from deck. Really is good to go to discard and take an evil New Testament Gray enhancement. So now I have another negate. I drew a bunch, made you discard a card from hand. It's just really, really good. Ban to any number. So yeah, I'd play this. Pretension's also really good to get rid of Melchizedek. And Brood of Vipers to get rid of Noah's Ark, to get rid of Melchizedek if he's protected. Because negating neutrals and protecting lost souls is a real big hindrance for Pharisees, so no to play against that. Let's say that's enough to deal with because they had to discard a good card from their hand that matched. We're only going to play a little bit more of this and call it. Top deck of Covenant from reserve. No. Upkeep, what are you doing? Upkeep, nothing. So we are going to play Noah's Ark, protect our guys. Come on down. You're protected. And nope, misplay. Numerous as a star. So first, we want to make sure how many are we going to numerous for? We're going to play numerous. I'm not doing it yet. We're going to play numerous. And that is going to, and how many are we going to get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if I play this for 5, I can't because I can only play it for 3. So we have to do something about that. We can put down cards. And remember, I'm playing for 5. This doesn't matter for my star. So now I can play this because Noah's Ark has been in my hand this whole time and has never touched the board, and I never played it and took it back. So now I can show all my stars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow. And we could take from deck reserve, discard pile. Don't just grab. I mean, I kind of figured, yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I also like to do that after I have Noah's Ark down. By that, I mean, before I even put down heroes, I put down Noah's Ark. So I maxed out my hand and took all the heroes, and now I can play them. I'm not really afraid to play them. So we have 13 cards in hand because I don't know, and then Book of the Covenant. We are going to activate this if we need. Yeah, we're still going to activate this. We have 13 cards in hand, and we can bounce things that hurt us if the opponent can ban to them, or things that we like to block with to keep for later. And we're going to set that up for a draw 1 next turn. And then we're going to turn this over, and these are CBN. And we are going to give your hero, but remember, you have to give the correct hero. And if the hero isn't down, because I kept them all in my hand, if they aren't down, then you only target what's in play. So know that prior to. Probably going to have Elijah at this point. It's a few turns into the game. They're going to have evil characters down. You can give it to Elijah, give that big band. And then we can come in and prevent cards afterwards, or choose the blocker and toss, or anything here. So we will shuffle this, and Elijah can band. Probably going to play that. So another little misplay. I'm sorry, I talk so much and try to explain everything. Whenever we shuffle, if this is going to go under your deck, you want to play this first before you shuffle your deck, so it's not underneath, so you can get back to it. So go to reserve and get out a protect or a whatchamacallit band. We're not shuffling, we are sending to the bottom. So this is here, your stuff's protected. The cross is still up. Do we want to play anything crosswise? Like if we needed to, could deactivate, go to second coming, but. So now, who would we want to ban with? And you get to look at their hand, so you would know who do you want. We could also play Emmaus Road before we attack and go to Out of Bethlehem, and that gives us the shuffle we wanted. So now we have Out of Bethlehem, which we do not have hand advantage. So we're still not attacking yet. Let's see what we can do for hand advantage. Good. This would probably be the time to play it, and we could reserve and show 2 good cards, draw 2, and we can play this, take a human hero from reserve. There is none. We're just trying to get our hand down legally. This goes back. We play Emmaus Road to go to a star card. We shuffle this in the deck. We play this. We get out Golden Calf. We already went through activation phase. You could argue I could play High Places in here to have Golden Calf active with the cross, but it's just adding another card that I don't necessarily need. So now we have 9 cards in hand. 7. Remember, we're going to play Out of Bethlehem to be at less. So we don't have to necessarily put down everything. If we're at 9, we'll be at 8. So if they're at 8, we can just put down 1. And that's fine. So And I'd rather put this down, honestly, because if they banded to my Pharisees and they banded to all, and they're like, ha ha ha, what are you going to do? I'm going to band in Isaiah and have initiative to play his name and withdraw all CBN, reserve an evil card from their hand. So yeah, Elijah gets to band. He also gets to band to Elisha. So I will rescue with him. He has a gained ability of banding. So I get to band to Elisha and look at your hand before the gained ability. So I band to Elijah or Elisha. I discard an evil card, evil enhancement from your deck, which is also really good against like dual stuff. Like I can discard all sorts of nice stuff. And look at your hand. And now I know, okay, who do I need to band to? And let's say we didn't get the shuffle. We can bring in Isaiah for CBN, or we can bring in Malachi for getting this back, knowing that they can't negate it. Or we can bring in Zechariah to, since we have Jeremiah out and minor prophets, he negates everything but star cards. So it's really whatever, it's indicative of what's in their hand. So let's say they have some stuff, but like some chump characters or some stuff that would be negated. If they can ban, if they can block and play like a star card, then I blow them up. But I get a choose the blocker, discard from your hand, look at your, or discard from your deck, look at your hand, potential for CBN enhancements that also would work through Zechariah if I had two bears, and have whatever needed. So it's really, really good. They rescue, you do a bunch of stuff and play that and discard them and band and all that. So upkeep, you could draw one. We didn't have any star abilities, and we don't have any covenant wise. Turn that over. We could go into a crowd's choice. No, we can't. The cross is active. It's late game. We can turn that over. Play second coming. Play crowd's choice. Go into new cov. Yeah, and we actually do want to turn these over so we could activate new covenant there. We're still in artifact. And make that CBN. And then you could give your Elijah again. It doesn't matter. I mean, it matters, but it doesn't matter for testing because we don't really know. I didn't do this again. But you could play that because now it's kind of like whatever. It's kind of the end. So you can go to protect. Whatever you go to first is where you go. I knew I didn't have anything in here, so I don't think there's any more targets, right? Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I get a constant, choose a blocker, look at your hand, deactivate the cross, so I can go falling away your guy, falling away your hero, put your hero out there against Elijah to Elisha, and have Jeremiah, you know, doesn't matter. That's all day. So that's the deck as needed. You bring in Malachi as you play this, and you band with, am I crazy? What'd I do with it? Where's my star card that bans? What are you doing in there? Oh, that was in my hand. I'm sure y'all noticed that, right? Because I had two good, and then I just sent them back, and I sent one to here. Anyway, so yeah, you band in people. A lot of your stuff's pretty much CBN, or it's very hard to negate it. Like it works through Zechariah, or you toss the next, or Elisha makes him CBN, or Isaiah makes him CBN. Band to Elijah, choose a blocker, take stuff from their deck, look at their hand. Noah, prevent cards. You can do Isaiah. You kind of like having Noah out here, to be honest, and then band in Noah. So just a lot of really strong rescues because you get those 2 heroes in battle. This is my favorite one for a constant choose with 3 heroes in. So this is my favorite. He's an absolute menace. You could argue that Faith could come into the deck just to get him even more, but that goes down to consistency. That's a lot of consistency cards. And I like having the 2 bears banned. I like having the 2 bears play out of Bethlehem. Why did I say it? Ham. Bethlehem. Out of Ham. Off my heroes. He's usually banded in to shuffle it. I can make him a bander. I like having my look at your hand first, and then I band to the next guy. So, yep, what do you know? Another New Covenant deck. The offense doesn't need much because it relies on heroes and just a few enhancements and recycles them between Malachi and Noah. So I originally had another banding enhancement. I originally had, the Coving Prince. I didn't need all that. If anything, like Virgin Birth just needs 1 target for reserve, and that's about it. So I think this is a really balanced, strong offense and defense. It's a really balanced deck. I'm not entirely sure what I would take out from the stance of getting it down to 50. I would have to add a hero for Virgin Birth, and as awesome as this card is, adding a hero means I got to take out something else. Maybe I take out Covenant with David, but it's because I only have 2 targets. So maybe I take out Covenant with David and add something for Virgin Birth. I could take out Covenant with David and add Eternal Covenant. I don't really think you need it. There's enough heroes in here, plus numerous sets of stars. Or I could have You Will Remain, but if anything, potentially Virgin Birth could come out and Covenant with David, and then that would let me bring over a card into my reserve. And I'm not sure who that would be. I love the Mighty Warrior. It's a really strong first turn. Yeah, I like 10 heroes. But yeah, I mean, that's just stuff to think about. Like 10 evil characters is a lot, but this is meant to be like a balanced deck that can kind of withstand multiple attacks while you're just constantly recycling and choosing the blocker and taking stuff from their deck or discarding stuff from their deck and all that. So this makes your New Covenant CBN. I kind of have this in every deck. I mean, that's really good to get early, offering your son delivered with Covenant with David. Like if you can have that turn 2, you kind of control the game. So anyway, not sure what I would take out, but yeah, that's the deck. Prophets use some of the strongest heroes in the game. Arguably the strongest heroes in a brigade. Green has all of them. Gold might be able to say otherwise, but green has a lot. So I think that's enough. I've been rambling long enough. So hopefully y'all like it. DM me, Discord, whatever. See what I misplayed, see what I could do to improve the deck, or if you like the overall Elisha, New Covenant, or just New Covenant in general and how I use it. So I think it took a very strong offense. I mean, this did win nationals last year, a very similar build offensively. I think I took a very strong offense. And once again, you got to think outside the box and try to make it better, you know? And how do you do that? You are susceptible to Crystal Martyr falling away. So let's bring in the best hero abilities and combine them. So the end of video. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.